Hello, beautiful world. This is Izabela Hrobak, an owner and founder of Authentic Wellbeing, and welcome to the Beautiful Show episode today. We are going to talk about soul-inspired habits and action steps. This episode is like most of my episodes are inspired by my own experiences, my own self-work, as well as observing either my clients, my friends, or others, how things are moving, changing. And in this case, I would like to talk about habits. So let's back up slightly. Like many of you, maybe it's just my assumption, but I personally read those books about how to create a habit, how to create action steps, goals, how to schedule your day, morning routines, evening routines, and how those are going to make you successful, right? Everything was structured. There was that myth running around the world that 21 days it's enough to create a habit, which is not true already. We know that there is not only publications showing that actually it takes more than that, little more than that, like around 60, 90, or even up to 120 days. But also from my own experiences and my clients' experiences, I truly can say, in order to develop a sustainable habit, it takes little longer than 21 days. Anyway, we are, or maybe I'm speaking on behalf of you, but let me more talk about from my perspective. I was taught that thing will, create my day in a better way, my life, and so on. And yes, those tools are really, really important. And for me, from my perspective today, they were important to me. They were important to me as a starting person, starting, my business, starting changing lifestyle, starting changing so many things in my life, setting up new boundaries, setting up new business system, right? Starting those videos. I needed those structures, those habits, and so on, also to stay sane. But today, I can calmly and very confidently say that those habits are really, really too structured for me. And I want to share with you before jumping into any conclusion. And please do stay with me and see what I'm saying, so that way you can see if that's for you or not. I started seeing the situations where I was very dragging, very unhappy, very really didn't want to do particular thing, particular practice, particular habit. And you know what? I developed them, right? I worked hard to get to this point where they are kind of sustainable in my daily plan. And now I feel like I don't want to do them. Or they didn't make me feel fulfilled. They didn't make me feel happier. They were just like extra task. So that was something what I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. That's something counterproductive, right? Those practices. And we are talking about more like emotional and spiritual practices. I'm not really talking about business-oriented aspects here, because those are very individual, and I am not touching that, right? I'm talking about personal development and spiritual practices. And then, so when I started realizing that those practices started making me more anxious, more dragging, more unhappy, rather than actually fulfilling me and actually giving me that little space, joy, and happiness, I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. So what I started doing, I started questioning my own rituals. Okay, let's say I have on my calendar morning me time 20 minutes. Yes. And so I said, okay, how would I like to feel in the morning before going to work with my clients? So I jotted down grounded, connected, joyful, passionate, inspiring, right? And then I ask again, is this 20 minutes scheduled me time or 20 minutes meditation time going to make me feel that way? Potentially, yes. That's why it was there. but based on a couple of weeks or few weeks of experiences, it's not anymore. So what can I do to change that? What can I do, or what another practice can I do to make me feel that way? Can I have longer or shorter time? Yes. Does that need to be, do I need to do an actual meditation? Can that be something else? Can that be a breath work? Can that be a dance time? Can that be just jotting down and journaling random thoughts? Can that be just looking through the window and observing birds, or taking shower with singing songs, right? What that can be that will make me feel that way? Okay. So literally from what I observed from that structured habit, which really had a time frame, actual command, what you need to do, it has to be 20 minutes meditation, really created a huge resentment and huge no to me. It was like that kid. How many of us, we were kids and we were taught, you should do this, and we did totally opposite, right? And maybe not all of you, but I did. And it was fun to piss off those adults. But that time maybe we could do it. And guess what? Now we can do it as well. So that was a really huge realization. I started jotting down my spiritual and emotional practices, which were meant to help me grow spiritually, emotionally, and better myself, to uncover my true authentic self. And I started seeing them through the perspective of emotions I wanted to experience when I do them. I wanted to see them through the perspective of how I want to feel at the end of accomplishing it, instead of putting on myself that structure, box, rule, restraints, what should be done in order for me to move on with my day. And then another side effect of this, things were not done. Then I was mad. Then I was beating myself over it. My perfectionist mode was creeping in. Inner critic was creeping in. And sometimes small thing like that was really spiraling up into really eventually a feeling of not feeling good enough, or not feeling capable of doing small tasks, not worthy, etc., etc. So who was there in that moment? Who of you experienced something like that? Because I did many times. So today I would like to invite you. I would like to invite you to try to implement more of or change up whatever habits you already created, or if you want to create and build new ones, implement that emotional part of it. Implement those feelings you want to experience once you accomplish it, once you do it, or while doing it. How do you want to feel when you are going for it? How do you want to feel when you are there doing it? How do you want to feel when you finish it? It is really important, because that will have such a ripple effect on the rest of your day that you cannot even picture right now. Most likely, if you haven't tried. For those of you who already did or experienced both situations, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's really mind-blowing, because I still catch myself doing that very structured habit. And at the end of the day, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how the day went. I was on such an autopilot, I'm exhausted, and I didn't even give myself 5 minutes rest, and I didn't even tap myself on the shoulder telling myself, hey, good job, girl. Because I was so go, and checking those things out. That's another aspect. Please treat your spiritual and emotional practices which are meant to better you, which are meant for that personal development, that self-help work and self-work. Don't make sure to not make them an item or thing which you need to check out from your list of things to do. Because that becomes a hassle, that becomes a must, that becomes a drag, that becomes a chore, that becomes something what is totally misaligned with actual role and actual purpose, right? it is totally contradictory, because it will just add into your chores, it will add into your calendar, it will add into that list of things to do, instead of actually help you check things out while taking care of yourself, while nurturing yourself, while getting a little bit break. And I am really not specific here. I really believe that every single of you can have your own experiences, routines, practices. It can be any type of, starting from 2-minute practice, breath work, walk, and so on, to 2 hours, to entire afternoon, to entire day off even. If some of you have that beautiful luxury benefit of it, for many of us, it's pretty common and normal to take one day off for just self-nurturing. For some of us, it's a very hard task to accomplish, and it's actually not achievable. Whatever it takes, use your routines and your rituals and your practices as something nurturing rather than hassle. And that will totally revamp your calendar, revamp your day, and really set you up for a way more better day. Because in the end, you are a creator of your day. You are a creator of your mood, of your attitude towards the rest of the world. You are leaving the house with either negative attitude, anxiety, or really fulfilled, nurtured, even if it was 2 minutes of breath work at home. So I really invite you to look at those habits you either created or you are going to, and look at them through those lenses of emotions. How do you want those things to make you feel? How do you want to feel? Because in the end, it's about you, how you want to feel. I hope this episode helped you in some way. If there was something really resonating with you, share with me, please. If there was something totally not resonating with you and you really disagree, share with me as well. If there is something new you want to add, or something you experienced and developed and lived through, please do share, because those shares are really not for me. They are for other women watching, reading, listening, so they can see that we are all together doing the same work and we are not alone. And this can be such a beautiful, beautiful practice in the long run. So share with also friends if you think that some of them may benefit from it or may want to hear something like that. Subscribe to this channel if you like those informations, if you like this video. There is more beautiful things coming up your way. And then ring the bell or click on the bell if you want the notifications that this episode Beautiful Show is coming every other Thursday. So feel free to also ring the bell and subscribe, and I hope to see you. I hope to see you somewhere around, maybe on social media. All links are below, so feel free to check it out and stay in touch. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving your time, spending your time with me and watching this episode. I love you all, and I hope to see you in the next one.